Hello. Welcome to my channel. In this tutorial, we gonna go over all about the Bevel Modifier. Let's add cube object. Go to Modifier menu and add Bevel Modifier. The Bevel Modifier bevels the edges or vertices of the mesh it is applied to, with some control of how and where the bevel is applied to the mesh. We have two choices here to bevel: vertices and edges. If we select the vertices, only the areas near vertices are beveled, the edges remain unchanged. If we select edges, it bevels the edges, creating intersections at vertices. We can increase bevel amount. The segments is the number of edge loops added along the bevel's face. If we increase the segments, bevel faces become rounded. Press Shift A and add new cube. Go to Modifiers menu and add Bevel Modifier. You can see all edges of the cube have beveled. Width type defines how width will be interpreted to determine the amount of bevel. There are 5 options in the width type: offset, width, depth, percent and absolute. First option is offset. The distance from the new edge to the original. The second one is width. The distance between the two new edges formed by the bevel. The third one is depth. Value is the perpendicular distance from the new bevel face to original edge. The fourth one is percent. The percentage of the length of adjacent edge length that the new edges slide along. The last one is absolute. The exact distance along edges adjacent to the beveled edge. A difference from offset is visible when the unbeveled edges attached to beveled edges meet at an angle besides a right angle. Thanks for watching. See you in the next tutorial. We have such a geometry. Let's go to Modifier menu and add Bevel Modifier. Limit method is used to control where a bevel is applied to the mesh. There are 4 options. The first one is none. If we select the none, our entire mesh edges will be beveled. It means no limit. The second one is the angle. That's going to only bevel angles that are larger than the angle specified here. For example, if we enter 90 degrees here, only edges here are going to be beveled. But if we enter 89 degrees, also our cube object is going to be beveled. The third limit method is the weight. The weight option here will only be able edges that we specify. In order to specify which edges we want to bevel, let's go to Edit mode and press N key to open the right side toolbar. Then, click on the Item tab and select the edges we want to apply bevel. Let's increase bevel weight. There we go. We have beveled edges only we want. The last one is the Vertex Group. Vertex Group option allows you to only bevel edges whose vertices are in the specified vertex group. Let's go to Edit mode and click on the Object Data Properties menu. Then select the top vertices and add New Vertex Group. Press Assign button and assign vertices. Then go to Modifiers menu and select the Vertex Group. Here we go. We have beveled edges only we have assigned Vertex Group. Thanks for watching. See you in the next tutorial. Let's press Shift A and add new cube. Then go to Modifier menu and add Bevel Modifier. Now, we have Profile option here which allows us to make our bevel concave convex, or customized profile shape. Superellipse creates a bevel with a uniform concave or convex curve. Let's go to front view to see profile shape better. If we try to slide shape option here, we cannot see any effect. It is because segments is less than 2. Let's increase segments to 20. So now we can slide the shape of the bevel from concave to convex. Its default value is 0.5. OK, let's click on Custom now. This option allows us to customize the profile of the bevel. Let's left click on the curve and add new control points. Then, hold down any control point and drag it where you want. Here we go. We have got customized profile shape. We can change here handle types of the control points. Samples will first be added to each control point, then if there are enough samples, they will be divided evenly between the edges. The Sample Straight Edges option toggles whether the samples are added to edges with sharp control points on either side. If there aren't enough samples to give each edge the same number of samples, they will just be added to the most curved edges, so it is recommended to use at least as many segments as there are control points. Thanks for watching. See you in the next tutorial. Firstly, press Shift A and add New Cube Object. Then, go to Edit Mode and select the top face of the cube. Press I key and inset face little bit. Then, press E key and extrude the face inward. Go back to Object Mode and add Bevel Modifier. Let's enter 5 into the Segments box. To see segments better, go to the Object Properties menu and turn the wireframe on. Let's go back to the Modifier menu and open the Geometry section. As you can see, there are two types of miters. A miter is formed when two beveled edges meet at an angle. On the side where the angle is greater than 180 degrees, if any, it is called an outer miter. If it is less than 180 degrees, then it is called an inner miter. There are three patterns in miter outer. First one is the sharp. Edges meet at a sharp point. The second one is the patch. Edges meet at a sharp point, but in addition, two extra vertices are introduced near the point so that the edges and faces at the vertex may be less pinched together than what occurs in the sharp case. The third one is the arc. Two vertices are introduced near the meeting point, and a curved arc joins them together. There are only two patterns in miter inner: sharp and arc. The spread value used to spread extra vertices apart for arc miters. When more than two beveled edges meet at a vertex, a mesh is created to complete the intersection between the generated geometry. This option controls the method used to create that mesh. There are two methods here. As default, the grid fill there is useful when a smooth continuation of the bevel profile is desired. Second method is the cutoff. It creates a cutoff face at the end of each beveled edge coming into the vertex. Clamp overlap limits the width of each beveled edge so that edges cannot cause overlapping intersections with other geometry. If we disable the clamp overlap, it causes overlapping intersections when we increase bevel amount. Let's go to Edit Mode. Select this edge and slide it little bit. As you can see, bevel width here has become not even. To fix this problem, turn off the loop slide option here. Here we go. We have even bevel width now. Thanks for watching. See you in the next tutorial. Firstly, let's add new cube object. Then, let's go to Viewport Shading and click on the Matcap tab. Select one of them. Let's go to Edit Mode and right-click to subdivide the cube object. And then, select some faces of the cube and press E key to extrude them inward. Go back to Object Mode and add Bevel Modifier. Let's enter 0.05 bevel amount and 5 segments. Then, open the Geometry option and select Arc Pattern for miter outer. For smooth shading, right-click and select Shade Smooth. Now, you have noticed that we have some weird lines extending from corners. This is happening because the smooth shading from the beveled corners is extending into the flat areas, creating gradients and lines like that. To fix this problem, we gonna open Shading option and enable the Harden Normals. But firstly we need to enable Auto Smooth option. To do this, let's go to Object Data Properties and open Normals section. Then enable Auto Smooth option. Let's go back Modifier menu and enable the Harden Normals. Here we go. We have solved this shading problem. Material Index slot is used to appoint material to bevel edges in the object. Firstly, let's go to Material Properties menu and add 3 materials. Then, go back to Modifiers menu and switch to Material Preview. Let's increase Material Index number. There we go. We have added materials for the object and its beveled edges. Set face strength on the faces involved in the bevel, according to the mode specified here. This can be used with Weighted Normals modifier. Let's add Weighted Normals modifier. The Face Influence option should be enabled. Let's try different the face strength modes. Let's go over mark seam and mark sharp option here. If a seam edge crosses a non-seam one and you bevel all of them, this option will maintain the expected propagation of seams. Firstly, let's add UV sphere and enter 10 in segments and rings. Go to Edit mode and press Hold Alt to select the edge loop. Right-click and mark seam. Then, go to Modifier menu and add Bevel Modifier. Let's select the None in the Limit method to bevel all edges of the mesh. Now go back to Object mode to apply the Bevel Modifier. If we go back to Edit mode, we will see that our seam divided. To fix this problem, we have to enable Mark Seam option before applying Bevel Modifier. Let's add new UV sphere and try it. Here we go. Now, our seam looks one piece. Mark sharp option also similar to mark seams, but for sharp edges. Thanks for watching. See you in the next tutorial.